Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in a darkness in Dublin, a vampire game set in Dublin. Side eye.
In the darkness, clearly.
In the darkness, but not in the Dark Ages. Misleadingly. Anyway, we set the scene, and get up the name of the restaurant again, as I actually forgotten. The Heron and Grey. A Michelin star restaurant set within Blackrock that Francis has invited Emily to for a spot of dinner, unfortunately of a mortal variety that is unpalatable to most, but Francis is making the offer regardless, and is currently residing there for an evening. Currently just having a drink of the Dom Pignon.
And as the scene begins, Miss Stevenson, Emily, has just pulled up in a... Oh, she's just getting out of a cab. And she just looks up the place and notices that, yeah, this is more fancy than she's used to. This is fancier than probably any restaurant she's ever been to. She is actually wearing a dress. Again, she looks, well, as she does, just stick out a bit because, well, her shoulders and stuff is a little bit, well, out of proportion, shall we say, than what you would normally expect. But she just looks around, just seems to just collect herself and, kind of takes a deep breath and just seems to be as her normal nervous self, and she just nods her head a little and enters.
Okay. You find Francis illuminated by the healthy warm glow of light in a snugly tucked away table located in the corner of one of these several rooms that make up this restaurant. He's just having some wine, soaking in the taste.
The lighting, the whole thing, just, I don't know if it seems alien, but it definitely seems as though Emily is confused. No, she just comes over and just nods, and she just stands like there's pause for like a moment. She seems a little bit uncertain, but she just comes over, nods.
By the way, Francis, as I said, you can pierce right through this. Behind Emily, walking about 7 or 8 steps behind her, there is another figure, kind of hunched over ever so slightly. Everyone else doesn't seem to notice them. The figure has a hood up over its head, and is basically shadowing wherever Emily moves. Rather expertly shadowing.
Francis's eyes go to Emily, then shift to and about as quickly off of the Nosferatu. It might be ever so slightly jarring, and then his eyes just kind of linger for about a brief second on any potential cameras, almost like he's confirming something to himself. Not in his expression, rather in just how his eyes are moving. They jump back to Emily about as quickly as they moved off of her. To be honest, I can make a manipulation subterfuge roll for that if you like.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly minor. Your eyes just kind of drift around the place, so feel free to continue on.
Okay. Um, Francis, looks to Emily and makes a gesture with his hand and says, Miss Stevenson, a pleasure to see you again. Please take a seat.
Thanks. It's she sits down. Thanks. It's really it's a lot fancier than I haven't been to a place like this. Thanks for the invitation. So
I'm relieved to hear. I'm relieved to see that you took it up in good faith.
I mean, we're like, there's, I mean, I know there's like bad vibes and stuff, but like,
Well, a war tends to give off bad vibes. Yes.
I know, but it's like, I really don't like. I just honestly like I if I could, I would stay out of politics just in general because I just don't want to really.
Well, when the man who speaks your sect more or less declares war,
Look, I'm
difficult to ignore, and
that may be so, and I get it, and
I must admit, part of me was expecting the potential for a showdown, if you will.
wait, what?
By the way, Bishop, as you say that, you will notice that Nosferatu has moved. A stake has slipped out of his sleeve, and he's now standing right behind Emily's chair.
But I'm glad to see you did not resort to that. That would have been particularly awkward. I do like this place. It's a nice restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we've got bigger problems, and secondly, I honestly don't get the whole. Like, obviously, I will defend myself, but most of this shit I really don't. For lack of a better word, get or I know there's a lot to it, but I mean, I've spent most of the last 2 years being on my own, more or less. So I guess there's a lot of stuff, but I really just honestly want to be left alone. If everything was, I'll help out because some people have been nice to me, been open to me, and helped me out. Like, and I get it, and that's good, and I'm thankful for that. But I mean, war, like I I I always believe that being, well, she does quotes anarch or whatever they call it. Like there's like 3 or 4 different names, whatever. I would have thought that means that we could decide for ourselves, but then again, we need to have each other's backs, and one gets singled out. I suppose politically, he has to, and I get it, but then I had to open my big fat cake socket, and here we are.
Well, I wouldn't say it like that. I believe you did the responsible thing, and it's what's earned you your credibility so far. I wouldn't regret it. That would be a bit... Oh.
I mean, the situation we now find ourselves in, where you think certain things that I would do, I mean, yeah, that would be something I wanted to avoid, but not doing the right thing, not calling out people for essentially working with something or someone or whatever he is that is against everyone, which I understand is very, very, very unheard of. That pretty much everyone around just says, we need to work together to stop this asshole. And what you don't do is then agree with him or deal with him in any way.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
Not exactly reassuring on the part of that particular fellow, no.
By the way, Bishop, making a perception awareness check, or a perception awareness check.
Okay. My specialty's in objects. I'm not sure if that has any bearing here.
It does not, unfortunately.
What's diff? Because I have all specs on.
With the Auspex, it is an unmodified. With the Auspex, it is a modified difficulty 8.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay. You become eminently aware of something. You look at Emily. You see kind of a swirling pool behind her aura. You've never seen anything like that, so it's like, that's new. It's like a swirling pool, like a whirlpool going inwards.
Oh, God damn you, Evan.
Hi.
Does it resemble any particular emotion or seem...
No, it almost looks like... You got 3 successes, didn't you?
Yeah.
For a split second, you could swear you saw eyes through it.
Oh, bliss.
No, what?
I didn't hear you. You're a little bit echoey, like you're away from the mic.
Oh, sorry, I'm eating at the same time.
That's fine.
Through it, you could almost swear you see a pair of eyes.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That is not good. Ah, shit.
Emily appears blissfully unaware of this.
No.
I know. God damn it.
If it helps, Peter, I love you.
I know, but God damn it. I know exactly what this is, though, but yeah. Like.
Fuck.
Well, on the
Fucks up all my
plus side,
plans.
you're making Chris' lives more difficult, and that's always a bonus. So
Yeah. I should really just ditch Emily right here. Okay, Francis. Yeah. Francis tilts his head slightly. Takes a swig of his wine glass. To be honest, while it's hardly unheard of for one of your kind to go independent, as it were, your situation renders it slightly less tenable. After all, you said you'll defend yourself, but I'm not sure your friends in the movement will take kindly to that particularly passive attitude, given the tone that's been set by your Baron.
right, but
Or the fact that they may already be aware that you told us what we know, which I, of course, appreciate greatly and believe you did the responsible thing. But of course, if your friends in movement are defending this figure, then I believe, well, the term they will use, and I do say it with a grain of salt, as I do not believe it to be the case, frankly. Snitch.
Well, I
The
suppose.
little downward inflection you had when you said that made it just better. Thank you. Continue.
Well, I mean, I suppose. But there are certain things well, him agreeing to anything he who must not be named said, honestly, yeah. That should be just a no-go for anyone. I don't care who they are, what they represent. That should just be, you cannot do this, full stop. And that's what I said. That's what I told you. I told you that he agreed with Mr. fucking, I don't know what he is, but whoever or whatever he is.
Mr. Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Every time Emily references him, the little black orb pulses.
That's not good. That's not good. That's bad. To be honest, I believe you're in more danger from your former friends than us. And while I appreciate your apolitical stance when it comes to matters of hunting such irredeemable creatures, I don't believe your compatriots will see it the same way, considering, again, they're defending this reprehensible person.
He sighs. I think I know what that means. Well, I can... So you're about to make a proposition, I suppose?
In a moment, I haven't even had dinner yet.
Alright, that's... Yeah, I shouldn't... That was impolite. I'm sorry.
I'm joking, although I will be eating this evening.
Oh, right.
That said, we still have a few minutes, I believe, so I'm just going to make a quick call, if you don't mind. Do enjoy yourself, though. It's a lovely place. I do very much appreciate this place's existence and proximity.
Right.
On the side of Bishop, is this a real place? Did you Google this?
Yes, it's an actual Michelin star restaurant in Blackrock.
That makes sense. Blackrock is an upmarket, snobby area of the city. But continue.
Yep, and that's why Francis runs it. So Francis is basically going to he's just gonna walk. He's just gonna walk outside here. Kind of puts his hand in his pocket where his phone is, takes it out, but his eyes linger on a Nosferatu.
Is it lingering as in follow me, or just lingering on?
Ain't lingering as in eye shift. Come on, dude.
Yeah. The Nosferatu kind of turns back to look at Emily, turns to look at the sheriff, looks at Emily, but he'll follow.
he'll walk outside. He'll probably just walk into an area that's not immediately public, so maybe like an alleyway or something. Just not out in the entrance of a restaurant because that would be public.
You can walk down the alleyway to the side.
Yeah. He'll just walk off to the side. Just where they're not immediately going to be spotted out. And as soon as he does, he'll just say, I assume the Seneschal has you doing this.
The figure nods its head. It takes down its hood and it will say, yes, that would be roughly correct. For the record, you've met this one at least once. Its name is Enigma. It's the Tech Nosferatu. Or the Tech Feratu.
The cool kid. All right, got it.
All of the Nosferatu, with the exception of Dr. Brightman, all have names. Like, for example, Abdul is actually called the Hammer. You've got Enigma. You've got there's another one who's called Whisper. They all have like little weird names like that.
Little aliases, yeah.
Yeah.
Fitting for a Nosferatu.
You want me to go back in and deal with her?
That won't be necessary. In fact, there's a couple of things I'd like to discuss. The first is that I was actually going to ask if you could wait outside. I have the situation quite secure, though I appreciate your presence.
Do you want to roll me some peony?
Six successes.
He's
sus. He's sus.
He's really sus. He kind of says, "I have my orders."
The sheriff kind of stops to think for a moment, because it's not like he hasn't used that excuse before. Like, if anyone's used that excuse before, it's been Francis.
You breached somebody's domain because, and I quote, "you had orders," end quote.
Yeah. So he's not. Yeah, Francis isn't too keen to push that angle because he more or less did the same thing. So he's actually trying to set a precedent of like not bad faith by doing this shit if someone at court tells you to, or someone of status tells you to. So say, I understand. Part of it is, well, a matter of how to describe it. Frankly, I'm not particularly well versed on it, but let's just say I spotted something within her aura.
Oh, Mr. Hennessy said to report these things. I should report this.
Yes, some sort of swirling whirlpool that appeared to at times pulsate whenever a certain someone was mentioned.
Oh, dear.
And, I could swear I saw eyes pop up from time to time. Hence my concern.
Right. Okay. For the record, do you have aura sight on him or not?
Well, I'm absolutely going to put aura sight on him.
Oh god, I have to get up the color chart.
That's right, the fucking colors. Is that the only reason why? That might be the only reason why. I only get 3 successes, so you don't have to.
When you say that, he's very afraid.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go and do that. Yes.
Yes, because I've I've been through and managed to survive encounters with this individual, but I don't want to put anyone at risk if there's even the slightest possibility that something might happen, because I do not believe Miss Stevenson is even aware of this.
Okay, you keep her here and keep her talking. I'll be back.
You're not going to bring a hit squad with you. I hope you don't bring a hit squad with you.
She turns and she says, no. 1 or 2 individuals should be enough. As you realize this has gone entirely left field of what you wanted.
Well, you know what? Still doing my job. Still doing my job. I'm doing the sheriff things. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I meant this. It was all intentional. That's right. We're gonna bumblefuck our way to victory here. Everything is fine.
To be fair, that is my old and ancient LARP expression. We shall bumblefuck our way to victory.
We'll just just bullshit our way to winning.
Wait, unless you don't think that she should be eliminated, Sheriff. Once again, so sauce.
To be honest, now that we know, it may be wiser not to.
Why do you say that?
The Red List has obviously got an eye on her for a reason. And does not necessarily know that we are now in the know. For once, that might actually put us one step ahead.
I mean, either that or he's just openly and flagrantly mocking you because he knows you can see him.
He does like spectacle, it's true.
Okay. I'm going to go talk to Mr. Hennessy. He's going to tell us what to do because he'll know. Yes.
Try to inform me in advance. I'd rather not have this place burnt to the ground.
Okay. And he will scamper off.
Francis will walk back into the restaurant. And we'll take a seat with Emily.
And she just looks as though she did before. Well, so
productive.
I hope so, and I hope I don't get jumped when I'm going out, because that could be. I must be the dumbest one of our kind. That I have to be, right? Walking into fucking enemy territory.
Again, do not consider me an enemy. If I considered you an enemy, I wouldn't have invited you here. It's not really my style to invite people to my home and then, well, bloody the carpet.
I know, it's just, you know. I know. Look, it's fine.
But yes. Proposition. I was going to ask if you could divulge me some information, if you do not possess it, if you could
what is it they say that costs, right? Normally, but depends on like what are we talking?
Now, of course, feel free to correct me. But currently, you are a self-declared anarch in a domain where sooner rather than later it appears they will turn against you if they have not made moves already, given that they're defending the individual you condemned. In a city where a war is, well, already broken out, and you are caught between two factions that do not have a great deal of investment in you. I can sure you see where I'm going with this.
I get it. You want me to join the right?
I'd rather be invested in you that way. I can vouch for you. And you'll have some manner of security. Because right now you're in, if I may be frank, a very unenviable position, politically speaking.
Yeah, fucking politics.
I think to point out, as of this exact moment in game, I think everyone would agree. Continue.
Even Emily would agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the PC is aware of this.
Yeah, but look, thanks.
I wish to provide you with an out for your situation because I don't believe you're going to be able to maintain your status within the Anarchs or maintain a semblance of independence either during or after the conflict. Because during it, both sides are going to be clamping down and circling the wagons.
Yeah.
And after the fact, well, the victors will consolidate, and they're not going to want any loose ends, are they?
No, they're not. So, I would appreciate that.
I would like to give you a shot.
So, joining the camera, okay.
Of course, that means providing something up front in good faith, but it doesn't have to be now. I'm not expecting it to be now.
Right.
And I'm not expecting something it's archaic or brutal as a blood tithe or anything so ridiculous. I'm simply looking for information on the condemned individual. That's where my quarrel lies, with the individual that betrayed one of your own and is, well, loyal to an enemy of my organization, and isn't really a member of yours, let's be honest. They're masquerading as one. That, I believe, is the mistake your Baron may have made. Because when truth comes out, he will suddenly realize he's on the wrong side of history, and it is not. That will not be something he can easily reverse. If he believes in it at all. He may deride it as propaganda. But we both know where the truth lies in this regard.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
And as much as this war, and I will state I have my biases against the movement, I won't lie about that, I do. I am, of course, of a different organization entirely. But I've always been at peace with them. As far as we're concerned, as the Ivory Tower is concerned, we are defending ourselves.
Right.
After a member of a seemingly nominally allied. A nominally allied sect decided to harbour an enemy, effectively harbouring a terrorist in mortal terms, if it makes more sense that way. It's the effective equivalent. And needless to say, just as any mortal government would not accept this, neither can the Tower. Particularly after, well, what the Baron just pulled on the Tower's more mundane assets. That was a direct attack on us, and again, we cannot overlook this. This is inflaming tensions. And as much as I'd be happy to say we can look past this or we can work something out, it's been made very clear to us that that's not on the table, and we can only work with what we have. And I'd prefer we contain any collateral damage, and that the individual that actually provided us with the information that we needed pertaining to this lawbreaker and Sabat infiltrated should be rewarded, if not at least given a chance, rather than put in the middle of a conflict that they want no part of. If they are going to be involved, at least give them a chance to survive it. And that is what I'd like to do for you. I know it is...
There is a heavy sigh from Emily.
I know it's a difficult decision, and I know I'm giving you a lot to think about.
I know. But let's be honest. Decisions, me having decisions, is not something I've had for the last while. This is actually the first decision where I truly could decide for myself, I suppose. And I'm going to take you up on that offer. I don't need to think about it.
Okay.
You're
It is
right.
appreciated.
And, well, I'm screwed either. Well, less screwed, but, well, I didn't have much choice to begin with, so, yeah.
Of course, I prefer this be kept on the down low until you have what you need. Because...
I understand.
Timing. Timing is very important in politics. And considering what you would need to provide, at least to me, to assure you a place in our sect, it would be easier if you simply acted as if things had not changed for the moment.
Yeah, I got it.
I have an idea for you. If you simply... I don't know if you can contact Spudgun. I assume because you
I've
met up with him
tried,
once.
but honestly, when it comes to Spudgun, he finds me.
Well, whichever way it goes...
He pops up every once in a while. He's just there, suddenly.
Interesting.
And then sometimes weeks go by and I call him and nothing happens, and then suddenly he's there again.
See if you can arrange for something with him, and if he comes to you, Just send me a message of where to place this.
I will.
I'm placing a great deal of trust in you, so please do not make me regret it.
Don't worry, you won't.
If you think there's a faster way of going about this, then feel free. I'm just giving you something to start with, as it were.
Yeah. I'll give it a thought or two. I'll see if I can find a different approach to this, but yeah.
You've proven yourself capable more than a few times. You helped save an Archon. You provided us with information on us about Infiltrator. You've proven yourself of value to our sect, and we would like to return the favor.
Thanks.
For 1 second.
Hey, Bishop.
He is AFK for the moment.
Oh, is he? Okay. It's fine. The fuck noise was that? It sounded like a cat.
The what?
It sounded like Bishop had a cat for a second there.
I might be the cat. Anyway, I'm back.
Bishop, what does your aura look like at the moment?
Danger! Danger!
Oh god, wrong book. Let me find colors, boys. Let's go. Lavender, light blue, lavender, rose, because he's being generous, so he's feeling quite generous in this as well. And slightly dark blue as well, and it's all a bit scrambled, as in anxious. So there you go. Yeah, then.
I was muted. My bad. Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
So basically, as you have this heartwarming conversation, hey Emily, how's it going?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's going super duper. Everything is fine as least as Emily is concerned. The player, he's thinking, what is my new character going to be?
What do you have in mind?
2 or 3 options.
Nice. Okay. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine here. How are you? Sorry, no, had to make the Star Wars reference. Bishop, you see the black ick hiker shatter, which looks like glass shattering.
It shatters like glass. Interesting.
And Emily, you start to feel an immense sense of dread and foreboding wash over you.
Oh my god.
Emily just looks around and just like, did you? I don't know. Sometimes you. I don't feel particularly good at this point. Like, did you just like? Is it just me or just She looks around.
No, something just happened to you, and you need to... You need to leave.
Bishop, how on earth would you know that?
He's telling her to leave the domain, not the thingy.
Okay, cool. Because that would have been so meta if you'd actually just said,
Yeah, he doesn't know that, but he is like, oh god, Mister, you know who's getting involved. I'm out.
peace.
Right.
This is the sheriff piecing out.
Right. I'll be in touch, she says, as her eyes get smaller and she gets up.
Good day. Or good night.
At this point, Emily knows what's up, or beginning to get a suspicion. Like, this is not good. And she will really fast just get out. And
Weird, Emily. As you leave the restaurant, it's almost you hear the bell ring in the background, and Bishop. I'm going to assume that obviously the restaurant is open, so I mean it can't be more than 10 o'clock at night.
It's open all the way up until 12, so could be. We could say it's approaching 11.
Okay, you hear the bell start to toll, and Emily, you're 100% certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's tolling for your death. Everything feels wrong and alien. You start to feel as if if you had a heart, it's going to stop beating. You need to run. You need to get out of here. You need to flee. You need to not be here anymore. It doesn't matter where you go. You just need to not be here. Keep running. Keep running.
And she will.
Yeah.
I'm do I see any of the fair-faced Nosferatu around?
Approximately 5 or 10 minutes after Emily leaves, the Nosferatu, 3 of them will return.
I get up. I my eyes linger on them again. Like, actually just acknowledge one of them. At this point, Francis has had a quick meal and is getting the fuck out. Paid the bill. It's fairly expensive. And he adjourns with them again off to the side. And as soon as he gets into the eye of him, he says, something happened to her. The pool in her aura broke, and she suddenly started acting extremely strangely.
What do you mean, strangely?
I would see in her aura the terror. Right? I'd have seen that. If she got an immense sense of fear, terror and foreboding, that should have shown up in her aura, right? She would have felt that.
Her aura literally became a sea of fear.
It shattered in her. Yeah, she's actually saying. He'll say, the eyed, pulsating ichor in her aura shattered. At which point her aura just became, well, nothing more than complete and total terror.
Abdul is there, and he kind of scratches his head with those long fingernails of his, and he says, Mr. Hennessy said that we were to keep an eye and not to interfere, as per your request, Sheriff. Do you want us to track her?
It may be wise, but do be careful. This involves you know who. I'm certain of it.
Abdul contemplates for a moment.
She's, at the very least, she is compromised.
We know where her haven is. We shall merely preoccupy ourselves with waiting and making sure if she returns there.
Also worth mentioning, it's tangential to this, but I have offered to vouch for her if she provides us with information on the blood-hunted Anarch. Actually, quite convenient, provides us with a way to keep an eye on her.
Mr. Hennessy says that she is to go before the Red Alistair to be given trials.
Understandable. And I wholeheartedly agree. She was currently moving very quickly away from this place, and he just kind of vaguely points in the direction she was going.
Emily, do you have obfuscate? I think you do.
Yeah, I do.
I was going to say, you are literally celerity running under obfuscate right now.
Yes.
Good.
If that wasn't explicitly told before, she is.
Fair enough. Then I probably wouldn't be able to say that, but okay. I'll redact. I'll redact. That's the word.
Not that it's going to help, but she is.
Oh no, you will make it out of the city in time.
Nice.
Oh,
I fucking love that ritual.
I do. It's horrible. It's horrifying. But yes.
Right. In that case, we will go. Thank you, Sheriff. Mr. Hennessy asks. He asks for clarification on a certain point.
What point?
If you wish to take over the surveillance of the young lady yourself as opposed to him having to expend resources.
You know, I would have said yes, but currently I already have one accountie under me. A second combined with my duties may, well, unduly interfere with both, and I would not wish that. Although any interactions I have with Miss Stevenson will be reported to the Seneschal.
As you say, very well, we shall go. And with that, if everyone is happy, we can end our scene. Mostly because myself and Peter are going to have another scene at some point, which is him on the outskirts of the city. Hi, Peter.
Hello!
Bye, guys.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.